are the backward linkages with respect to that. Okay. Then East Asia Summit and ASEAN. Okay, so ASEAN is important, and recently you know that this East Asia Summit has happened in Laos and our PM has visited over there. So we will be talking about that as well. Then digital literacy gaps across India. There was this report which is suggesting that there is a gaps in the education and there is this gaps in the digital literacy as well as the, you can say, reach to which laptops and phone has actually reached. Okay, so we will be talking about that can be a developmental issue as well as the issue of your literacy. Okay, so we will be talking about all these things. Other than that also we will try to address one or two articles. So let's start. In the end there will be a practice question so that you have to attempt and answer. So before moving further, we will be seeing the practice question over here. Which of the following micronutrient is not commonly added in the fortified rice? When we talk about the fortified rice, generally vitamin C, which is having this which is found in citrus fruits, etc., that is not generally added in the, you can say, these fortified rice. Okay, when they are talking about what can be added, we can add anything. Okay, because this is our choice that what we are adding to it. Okay, but they are saying that mostly or most commonly not added. Okay, so that is your vitamin C. Okay, so you can assume now, like you can't you would not want to eat rice with a citrus taste in that. Okay, so that would be here vitamin C. Moving further, we have this GS Foundation course for prelims as well as mains in English medium at our offline centers, which is commencing on 16th of October at Lucknow and 17th October at Karol Bagh. You can directly visit these centers and get enrolled. Admissions are open, and if you have any kind of query, you can call on this number 8010440440. Okay, again 8010440440. For any query you can call on this number or you can directly visit the center to get enrolled. Okay, let's move further. And now we will be talking about the facts of the day. You know that the Nobel Prize season is here, and we have talked about the Nobel Prize in medicine, then physics, you can say chemistry, etc. Now talking about when we are looking at this particular, you can say, Nobel Prize over here. So today you must have heard about yesterday that Nobel Prize in literature has also been announced. Okay, so there is this latest update that is there on our channel, YouTube channel. You can directly go and watch that particular video wherein they have talked about the Nobel Prize in literature. Okay, now coming to the Nobel Prize, and we will be seeing that what is the tradition, how from where it belongs, or what are the important key factors which can be important for our examinations. Okay, so that is about the Nobel Prize. Let's see. Established by the will of Alfred Nobel, inventor of the dynamite. Okay, so that is important fact which you can remember, and this particular prize was started with the will, written will of a person, that is Alfred Nobel. Okay, awarded to those who has conferred the greatest benefit to the humankind during the preceding year. Okay, so that is there. Third is, first award was handed out in 1901. That was the first time they have given this particular award. The prize ceremony is held in Stockholm, Sweden in December every year. The Peace Prize is not awarded at the Stockholm ceremony but presented annually in Oslo, Norway on the same day. Okay, so when we talk about the Peace Prize, that is awarded in the Oslo, Norway, and other than that other prizes are awarded in Stockholm in Sweden. Okay, so that is there. Each Nobel laureate receives a gold medal, a diploma and a monetary award. With that, Nobel Prize cannot be given posthumously, that is after the death. Okay, so Nobel Prize cannot be given posthumously after that. Also, up to 3 people can share a Nobel Prize between them. Okay, let's say when we talk about the chemistry, there are 3 people who has been given this award. Okay, so like that 3 people can share the award, not more than that. Okay, now first Indian Nobel laureate, that is Rabindranath Tagore for literature in 1913. Okay, moving further, the first Indian woman Nobel laureate, that is Mother Teresa for peace in 1979. So these 2 names which you can remember. Okay, now we can move further and we will be seeing that in which field these Nobels are given. Okay, so here this is given in physics, then chemistry, then physiology or medicine, then literature, peace and economic sciences. This peace award that is given in Oslo, Norway. Other than that, these are given in the Stockholm. Okay, I hope that is clear. This is the picture of Alfred Nobel which is there on the screen. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now we can move further with the next topic, that is related to your constitution. We have discussed all these things. Now we are talking about the official languages, that is there in part 17, article 343 to 351. Okay, other than that we will be talking about the emergencies in the next, and after that amendment in the you can say day after tomorrow maybe. Okay, so that is about the discussion. Now we will be talking about the official languages. Now there are certain articles which are important. You might not be able to remember the, you can say, number of the article, but these 3-4 articles which are discussed over here, these are important for you, so please remember the numbers as well. Okay, official language of the union. Okay, when we talk about the government, you know, government in India we have at various stages, that is union government is there, then we have state government, there are local governments as well, because we are having a 3-tier structure, but right now we are focusing on this. So when we are talking about the language of the union government, so here you can see Hindi in Devanagari script is the official language of the union. Now again, it is an official language, not a national language as of now. Okay, so here you can see Hindi in Devanagari script is the official language of the union, but English can also continue for the official purpose for 15 years. Initially, since almost everything was done in the English, because you know we had the British rule in India, and that is why they have said that they will be continuing English for 15 years. Okay, after that they will decide on that. So here you can say Hindi in Devanagari script is the official language of union, but English can continue for official purposes for 15 years from the commencement of the constitution, that is until 1965. Okay, then parliament can decide to extend this period. Okay, which is you can say obvious that parliament has actually gone for the extension. Second, we are talking about the regional languages. Article 345 is talking about that. Now this is about article 343, that is talking about the official language of the union. That is the most important for one as of now. Now moving further, regional languages, article 345, the states can choose their own official language in addition to the Hindi as per their preference. Okay, so here since the Hindi is the official language of the union, so that is why Hindi is there. Along with that, you can go for any kind of regional language, that is up to the state as per article 345. Use of English, article 346 and 347, that is saying that English may be used for a communication between state and with the union. State can adopt a minority language as their official language if there is a demand. Okay, so which is already there given in the article 345. Coming to the next one, special directives which are given under article 348 to 351. These provides the guidelines for using Hindi, English and regional languages in the legal proceedings, governance and promotion of Hindi. Article 351 specially directs the union to promote the spread of the Hindi and enrich the assimilating elements from other languages. Okay, so right now when we are talking about the important articles, here you can say 343, 345, 346, 347 and 351. These are the articles which you should remember. Article 343 is talking about the official language of the union. Article 345 is talking about the regional languages which state has authority to go for selecting as their official language. Use of English, that is given in article 346 and 347, and article 348 to 351 are talking about certain directions to the governments, and article 351 is specifically giving importance to Hindi for the spread of Hindi and development of Hindi. Okay, so that is about the official language and certain facts which you should remember. Okay, now we can move further and start with our today's discussion. Okay, ahead of the assembly polls, Maharashtra asks center to raise the OBC non-creamier income limit to 15 lakh. Right now when we talk about the OBC non-creamier benchmark income level, that is 8 lakhs. Okay, that is 8 lakh, and now they are saying that they want it to be raised to 15 lakh. Okay, the move was in making after the setback received by the ruling coalition in 2024 Lok Sabha polls. So that can be a political decision, but we are not going into that. We are just saying that they are asking you to change the limit. Okay, we will be seeing how this limit was set. Okay, how the concept of non-creamier and creamier was introduced in the OBC reservation. So let's start with the Mandal Commission. We will be seeing that how Mandal Commission has come up with the idea. So you know that everyone knows that Mandal Commission recommended the OBC reservation, that is 27%. Okay, so Mandal Commission recommended 27% for the OBCs in central government jobs. The central government issued an official memorandum in 1990 to implement the recommendation. Okay, so this recommendation was accepted and central government has gone for the memorandum to implement this, but then this was challenged in the court. Okay, So decision was challenged in the Supreme Court in Indra Sahani and others versus Union of India in 1992. Now this is the landmark case which you should remember, because that is the most important case in the history of reservation. Okay, so in Indra Sahani case, this particular judgment or the implementation of the, you can say, Mandal Commission's recommendation, that was challenged in the court. Okay. Now in this particular judgment, court has come up with the various things. Court has said that there can be a concept of creamy layer. Second, court said that there will be a, you can say, cap of 50%. Okay, and they have upheld the OBC reservation. Okay, so OBC reservation will be there, 27% reservation will be there, but that will be there for the non-creamy layers. Okay, those who are, you can say, more backward in the OBC category. Okay, so for that there was this concept introduced, that is non-creamy layer and the creamy layer. Okay. Now after that there was this commission which was formed, so we will come to that. The Supreme Court upheld the 27% reservation for OBCs, but ruled that the creamy layer of the OBC must be excluded. Okay, so out of these OBCs they have said that there are two classes. Okay, one is creamy layer, second is non-creamy layer. Okay, now this creamy layer, they are well-to-do families, or they are well-to-do people, so they do not require any kind of reservation. So for them, they should be excluded from the reservation. Reservation should be given to the non-creamy layer. So for them, we have 27% reservation. Okay, so that was the judgment of the Supreme Court. Now coming to the next, the central government constituted a Ram Nandan Prasad Commission. So this commission name, if you can remember, that would be good. Okay, so Ram Nandan Prasad Commission was there to identify the creamy layer. How will you decide that who is creamy layer and who is not? So for that, Ram Nandan Prasad Commission was there. They give their recommendations, and then we have come up with the, you can say, this limit of 8 lakhs, etc. Okay. Now the commission's recommendations were approved by the government. Now let's see how you decide that who is creamy layer or non-creamy layer. Okay. Now those people who are, you can say, there is this easy question that was asked, were your parents employed by the government? Now OBC status, that depends on your parents category. Okay, that depends on your parents. Now were your parents employed by the government or not? If they are employed by the government and they are in the group A or group B officer, okay, before the age of 40, in that case you will be creamy layer. Okay, that your parents were in the government service and before the age of 40 they were in the group A or group B service. In that case you are creamy layer, because you have been at a very, you know, advantageous position. Okay, coming to the next one, if no, if your parents are not in the government job, so in that case, is there a gross annual income that is above 8 lakh, not including the income from salary or the income from the agricultural land? Okay, so from the agricultural land, that has been excluded over here. So if after excluding the agricultural land income, if your salary or if your income is more than 8 lakhs, that we are talking about the family income over here, if your income is more than 8 lakh, then you are creamy layer. Okay, so that is also there. In these two cases, that your parents are in the government service and group A or group B service, and before the age of 40 they have reached there. Okay, so that is one thing. In that case you will be creamy layer. Second thing is, if your income is more than 8 lakh, in that case also you will be creamy layer. Okay, so these two things has been you can say decided. Other than that also, here you can see individuals with substantial assets or land holdings. Okay, so other than that, if someone is having a, you know, when we are talking about the land holdings or the assets, that person is having a huge asset base, so in that case also that person will also be creamy layer. Okay, now except for the above children of the above mentioned employees, when we are talking about these, almost everyone is getting the advantage of the becoming non-creamy layer. Okay, so those who are not mentioned in 1, 2 and 3 category, okay, they will be non-creamy layer. So that is clear that if your income is more than 8 lakh, then you are creamy layer. If you are in the government service group A or group B, then you are creamy layer. Other than that, if you have the assets which are you know, very too much in nature, in that case also you are creamy layer. Other than that, you will be non-creamy layer, and when you are non-creamy layer, that means that you will be getting reservation benefit, that is 27%. Okay, so that is about the OBC reservation and how it came, and now there is this demand that that should be included to 15 lakh. Okay, to be more inclusive, obviously. Now moving further, next article is about the ASEAN. Okay, all about ASEAN and the East Asia Summit to be attended by Prime Minister Modi. They are talking about to be, but almost this, you can say that this visit is ongoing. Okay, The ASEAN group is one of the most successful example of the multinational organization globally. When we talk about the multinational or the supranational entities, so you can say EU is the best example first, European Union, and second, if we talk about in Asia's region, ASEAN is the best example. Okay, so they have grown a lot, so that is why we are saying that ASEAN is the best example. We will be seeing that why in India's foreign policy ASEAN is important. We will be seeing that why East Asia Summit is important. Okay, we will try to understand that what is the China factor. Okay, all these things we will be discussing in this article. Now PM Modi's 2024 visit, during his visit to Laos for ASEAN and East Asia Summit October 2024, PM Modi highlighted the comprehensive strategic partnership between India and ASEAN. Okay, so they are strategic partner, comprehensive strategic partnership. Okay. Now, reviewing progress and discussing the future cooperation, Modi also emphasized the shared culture ties. You must have heard that in Laos he has actually attended Ram Leela. Okay, you know that Ram Leela is quite famous in the, you can say, Southeast Asian countries as well. Okay, as Ramayana has been translated there as well. So Ram Leela is quite prominent over here. So we have a shared cultural ties, particularly through the heritage of Buddhism and the Ramayana, strengthening the India's culture and the diplomatic relations with the region. Okay, other than that also, you know that Ashok's son and daughter, they were sent to Southeast Asian countries for spread of Buddhism. Okay, so that is why we are having these cultural ties with the region. Okay, now coming to the next part over here, we will be seeing that what is ASEAN. We'll move forward with the what is East Asia Summit. Okay, so starting with the ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nation, formed on 8th August 1967 by 5 South Asian countries, that is Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. Now these were the countries who has actually formed this grouping, and later on there were 5 other countries which has been added. Okay, to resolve the regional dispute and promote cooperations. Later on Brunei, Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar and Vietnam, they also joined. Okay, so right now total 10 members are there in ASEAN group. ASEAN aims for the regional cooperation in the economic, social, cultural, educational and other fields. It also seeks to promote the regional peace and the stability, very general goal which is there. ASEAN holds biannual summits and operates under the rotating chairmanship. Its motto is one vision, one identity, one community, with major pillar focusing on the political security, economic and the socio-culture cooperation. Okay, so basically they are talking about the cooperation and the security, peace and stability in the region. Okay, so that is about the ASEAN. Now let's see the membership over here. When we talk about the 10 members, we have already discussed over here. You can see starting from our, you can say, when we are talking about the South Asia or Southeast Asia, that starts from Myanmar over here. So starting from Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia and Vietnam. Okay, so these are the 5 countries which are, you can say, directly in touch with you can say this particular region over here. Then coming to you can say little bit south here, we are having Malaysia, then we are having Singapore, then we are having Brunei over here, then Philippines. Okay, so here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and Indonesia 10. These are the 10 countries which are part of your ASEAN. Okay, so here you can see these are the 10 countries which are given over here. Now why ASEAN is important? Because obviously we are having this Act East policy. Earlier we had this Look East policy. When we were talking about the Look East policy, we were restricted to this region of Southeast Asia. Okay, but when we are talking about the Act East policy, you can see that we have gone for the further in the expansion. Okay, so here you can see Act East policy is focused on the ASEAN countries plus economic integration plus East Asian countries plus security cooperation. Okay, so these are the 4 pillars on which Act East policy is there. Coming to the next part here, Prime Minister of India highlighted 4C of the Act East policy, that is Act East policy, that is culture, commerce, connectivity and capacity building. Okay, so this is something a fancy word which you can say use in your answer writings or in the debates. Okay, so that is why that is there. So when we talk about the Act East policy, earlier we were restricted to Look East, that is you can say in this particular region only, but further we have extended to the East Asian countries as well. Okay, so up to Japan, Korea also we are having this reach. Now that is why it is Act East policy. It is important for us as well, because if we are having good relations with these countries, that means that we will be having more accessibility to the northeastern region of India as well. So that is one thing. Other than that also, these are well-to-do economies which are there. Other than that, China is quite aggressive in this region. When we talk about this region of South China Sea over here, China is quite aggressive. So having better ties with these countries, that is also in India's favor, or you can say enemy of a you can say if we are talking about a particular region, if you are having enemy of an enemy, then obviously that can be a friend. So that is the, you can say, logic which is working over here. Other than that, this is Taiwan. You know that Taiwan is also facing some kind of issues with respect to China. Okay, so in this region, India want to have a good sway, because China is having a sway in the Indian Ocean region or the Indo-Pacific region, and that is why this is important. Now moving further, we will be talking about the India's connection with ASEAN. So here you can see it is crucial to Act East policy, which was earlier Look East policy in 1990s. Okay, so in 1990s we had this Look East policy, and in 2014 we have come up with the Act East policy. Okay, now this Act East policy is focusing on the Asia Pacific region as a whole. Earlier Look East policy was limited to the southeastern region. Now policy initially aimed at economic ties, especially with the Southeast Asia, which has rapidly grown, like Brunei being the significant oil and gas producer. Okay, coming to the next one, India-ASEAN relations now include political, strategic, cultural dimensions as well. India is part of ASEAN plus 6. Now this is another grouping which is there, ASEAN plus 6, 10 members of ASEAN, and plus there are 6 members, that is China, Japan, South Korea, Australia and New Zealand. Okay, so that is your ASEAN plus 6. Moving further, in 2010, India signed a free trade agreement with ASEAN. Now we might not have a individual free trade agreement with all the countries, but we have a free trade agreement with ASEAN. Okay, coming to the next one here, there was this RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, which was there. India was supposed to join it, but then India did not, because of the domestic concerns which are there with respect to the dairy field and the, you can say, country of origin related rules, etc. So that is why India did not join it. Okay, so these are the connections we are having with respect to the India and ASEAN. Now we will be talking to the East Asia Summit. Okay, East Asia Summit was initiated in 2005 with ASEAN member states and 6 other countries, that is Australia, China, India, Japan, New Zealand and South Korea. These are basically your ASEAN plus 6. Okay, then after that USA and Russia has joined it. Okay, so we have this ASEAN plus 6 plus USA plus Russia, that is basically your East Asia Summit. Okay, this is another grouping, this is one grouping, this is second grouping, and this all together is a third grouping. Okay, now it's a forum for the heads of the states to discuss the issue related to peace, stability, prosperity in the Indo-Pacific region. Now see, they are talking about the Indo-Pacific region. Now Indo-Pacific has 2 different connotations. When we are talking about the Indo-Pacific, then we are saying that this is the Indian Ocean region, and then you can say the some part of your Pacific, this side. Okay, but when we talk when USA is talking about the Indo-Pacific region, they will consider the whole Indo-Pacific along with the Indian Ocean till the coast of Africa. Okay, so that is the idea of USA, because of their own strategic interest. Okay, the concept of Indo-Pacific actually has started from the terms in the US's diplomacy only. After that, India has been a founding member of East Asia Summit since 2005. So that is an important fact that can be asked in examination, that whether India is a founding member or not. So yes, India is a founding member. Okay, moving further, EAS has 6 priority areas of cooperation, that is environment and energy, education, finance, global health issues and pandemic disease, natural disaster management and ASEAN connectivity. So these are the area wherein they are actually trying to work. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now coming to the next one. Before that, here I would like to mention certain things, that why is that these groupings are important for us in this particular region, because obviously China is rising at a very faster pace, and why is that in this region USA has a presence. Okay, USA has a presence in this particular region because USA wants to counter China. Now that can be a one platform wherein USA and China can actually go for a dialogue. That is one thing. Second thing is, India is a key factor in this region. Okay, that is why India is also present over here. Russia is also present because obviously Russia is a key you can say actor when we are talking about the global policies, etc. Other than that, it is also an economic group. So that is why Russia is also there. But the thing is, the whole thing right now it's focused around China, because we are trying to curb the China's rise. Okay, China is going for the expansionist policy, China is going for the unfair trade, etc. So for that, and China is threatening the USA's hegemony, or obviously in that in right now if we're talking about, we cannot say that USA has a hegemony anymore. Okay, because now we are living in a multipolar world and we are living in a very uncertain world. Okay, so that is why we can say that to a lot extent we can say that China has already broken the USA's hegemony, but still USA is trying to curb China, and in USA wants the help of India, Japan, Australia and South Korea, etc. Okay, so anyway, now we can move further to the next one, that is rise in life expectancy has slowed dramatically, says a new study. So there is this study which is saying that the life expectancy, how many years a person is expected to live. Okay, so that life expectancy is not rising any further. When we talk about the time of you can say 1990s till 1990s, or after 1950s, 1990s and 2000s, at that point of time we have actually gone for the increase in the life expectancy because of the developments in the medical field. But now we have reached a place wherein life expectancy is not increasing anymore. Okay, so we will be seeing why. So there is this particular report, the analysis implausibility of the radical life extension in the human in 21st century. That was a kind of paper which was published in a study. Okay, that is journal name is Nature. Okay, now this study highlights that while medical advances has improved the life expectancy, further increase will depend on the anti-aging treatments rather than the improvements in the treating existing diseases. Okay, so right now they are saying that if we want to increase the life expectancy, that will not be increasing because of the medical treatments or the medical facilities, that will increase on the basis of the anti-aging treatments or maybe a healthier lifestyle. Okay, anti-aging can be done through the treatments or through a healthier lifestyle. Okay, so let's see this particular report and we will be seeing what is happening in the trends. Okay, so current life expectancy trends, if we talk about, during the 20th century life expectancy increased dramatically due to the public health improvements and the medical advancements, which we have seen when we are talking about the 1900s and till 2000s, that is your 19th century, and in this century we have gone for the quite you can say medical advancements, and because of which life expectancy has increased. Now moving further, 1920s to 2020s, that is the 100 years, human lifespan nearly doubled. Okay, so we can say that that was a good era. After that, the study analyzed the data from 1990s to 2019 in the region with the highest expectancies like Japan, South Korea and Australia. They have gone for the study in that particular region because obviously their expectancies are high and they wanted to see whether we can increase it further or not. Okay, so they have seen that the increase in the life expectancy in these regions over that period was modest, like 6.5 years. So in this region, the life expectancies are not increasing at a very good pace, or you can say this is at max, we can say that it is modest. Okay, then the chance of reaching 100 years for a girl born in these region is 5.3%, and for a boy that is 1.8%. So basically they are saying that out of 100 boys in the region, only 1.8, or you can say at max 2 boys can live more than 100 years, and 5 to 6 girls can live more than 100 years. Okay, so that is about the current life expectancy trends. Now we will be seeing that what are the challenges in extending the life expectancy. So here you can say, despite the modern medicine in success in extending the life to 70s, 80s, 19 and radical life extension to 100 years is unlikely without breaking through that can slow aging itself. Okay, so they are saying that going to this particular level, that we are increasing the life expectancy to 70s, 80s, 90s, that is not very easy right now. When we talk about India, life expectancy is somewhere around 66 to 68. Okay, so you can go through the internet and check the data, somewhere around 66 to 68 years is there. Okay, then they are saying that we cannot increase it any further, we can only go for the anti-aging or the slow down the aging, so that we can actually reach that particular goal. Common diseases like heart attacks or the cancer might be curable, but aging naturally causes the decline of the internal organs and the systems, limiting the life span. Okay, so basically what they are saying is that despite you can go for the treatments, etc., but the thing is, if you are aging, obviously with the aging your cells are not able to regenerate themselves, okay, and because of which there can be organ failures, etc. And that is why they are saying that slowing the aging can be a one path through which you can increase the life expectancy. Now future possibilities, they are saying that slowing the aging only, that is only possibility they are left with. Slowing aging through the medical innovation is considered the only viable path to significantly extend the human life expectancy. Ongoing research including the testing metformin, this is a drug which is used in diabetes, okay, so but that is showing good results with respect to the anti-aging phenomena as well. So that is what they have seen in the I guess in the animals as of now. So here you can say slowing the aging in the animals like monkey. So this is not yet tested on the man, but obviously if it is working on the monkeys, there are high chances it will work on the man as well, okay. So this is about the life expectancy. Here they are saying that they can do it through the medical treatment, slowing down the age through the medical treatment, but you can also make some lifestyle changes because of which also aging can you can say reduce. Like we have discussed this particular thing in our you can say 2 or 3 weeks earlier, that the tourism or actually positive tourism actually you can say help you to slow age, okay. So that is phenomena which we have already discussed earlier. Now moving further to the next one, 95% of the households have phone in India, only 9.9% owns computer, okay. With this only you can say that this is kind of a gap or the discrepancy which is there, okay. The concentration of the ownership of the computer with urban households with 21.6% share, while the rural households have 4.2% share, okay. So right now when we are talking about the phones, that is 95% of the households has the phone and only 9.9% are having the computers. When we are talking about the urban and rural phenomena, so you can say 21% of the urban households are having the computers and only 4.2% are having the you can say computers in the rural area. A recent report from the Comprehensive Annual Modular Survey 2022-23 released by the Ministry of Statistics and the Program Implementation highlights the disparity in the technology and the education access across the India, okay. So let's see the data. Now you don't have to remember all of this, just one or two data which you can use or reproduce in the exam. You can take that particular data that is showing that there is a discrepancy, okay. So key findings, if you see, 95% of the households in India owns mobile phone or telephone. In contrast, only 9.9% are having the computer. So one thing is phone versus computer. So that is a discrepancy from 95%, and another one is having 9.9% or 10%, you can say, okay, 95% and 10%. So you can see the gap over here. Second is urban households are dominating in the computer ownership with 21.6% and rurals are having 4.2%, okay. So that is also there, urban versus rural divide which is visible over here, that is urban versus rural in case of the ownership of computers, that is 21.6% and that is nearly 4.2%, okay. Moving further, Delhi leads in the computer ownership, that is 27.8% of the households, followed by the Sikkim, Mizoram, Kerala. Now here you can see after Delhi, not Bangalore, but Sikkim is having the most computers, okay. So that is the kind of you can say trends which are there. Moving further, 100% of the households in Chandigarh possess a mobile phone or telephone, followed by the Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, Kerala and Ladakh. These two facts are not very much important, but these three facts are important for you, which we have already discussed over here. Now coming to the next one, that is talking about the schooling and the you can say the year of the schoolings and the education. Now here you can see survey shows that the at all India level, person aged 15 years and above have 8.4 mean years of the schooling, okay. So a person who is more than 15 years, there are high chances that there are many people who are having 8.4 mean years of the education. That means that he has been to the school for that much time, okay. So mean year of schooling, that means that a person who has attended the school, okay. Now Goa leads in the education with the people aged 15 and above having an average of 12.1% of 12.1 year of the schooling. So basically in Goa, that is the highest, that is 12 years of the schooling, a person of 15 age. Then Pondicherry 11.4, Lakshadweep 11.1, Sikkim 11. Coming to the next one, that is Arunachal Pradesh has the lowest one. So those 2-3 things which you can remember, one is Goa is having the highest one, Arunachal Pradesh is having the lowest one, okay. Here you can see when we talk about the states with the lower than the national average includes the Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, Odisha and Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so that is this you can say discrepancy or the gap which is there in the education field. Other than that also there are some data which is there. 36% of the primary school students, that is 6 to 10% in the urban areas, they are studying in the government schools. Okay, 36% that is are there in the government school. When we talking about the rural areas, 80% are there in the government schools. Okay, so obviously because government in the rural areas or the hinterland there are very less private schools which are there, so that is one thing. Okay. Okay, fine. Coming to the next one, the literacy rate for the people aged 15 to 24 years is 96.9% with 97.8% of the male and 95.9% of the female. Okay, so that is the literacy rate which is there. When right now they are saying that from 15 to 24% of the age, if we look at, so there is this 96.9% people are literate. So that is a good sign. Okay, so that is a good sign because when we are talking about the literacy, they are saying that they can read, they are writing and the performing simple arithmetics. Okay, now why? Because why is that this is you can say they are having this much you can say number, that is 96 or 97% of literacy. Still India's overall literacy is not very good. Okay, or you can say that is around 75% or something. So that is because after this age, when we are talking about the 25 to 80 or 90 years of the people, since they are from the other generation or the previous generations, and that is why there are not various literate you can find in them. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the next one, 35% of the youth reported engaging in the formal or non-formal education or training in the previous 12 months. This data is not important. Just know that this second and the first data can be important for you. Okay, now we can move further. There is this practice question for you. Before that, there was this query which is saying that can you explain the Act East policy and Look East policy and their width of differences. Okay, so fine. When we talk about the, you can say, when we talk about the Act East and Look East. Okay, Look East was the policy which came in 1990s. Okay, that time India actually gone for opening up our economy, so we wanted to have good economic partners. At that point of time, the region of Southeast Asia, you must have heard this Asian tigers, etc. These were the terminologies which are used back then. Okay, because these countries in the Southeast Asia, they are performing economically, you can say, well, and that is why we were looking for such economies. Okay, so that is why we started to focus on the Look East. Okay, we started to look east, or when we are talking about the world itself, we are looking towards the east and we are acting towards it. So at that point of time, this was the initial steps which has been taken from our side of government towards the Southeast region. Okay, so this was limited to the Southeast Asia only. Okay, the countries which are there in ASEAN. Okay, even we can say that. Okay, moving further, Act East policy that came more recently in 2014. Okay, and here they are saying that Act East because right now focus was more on the northeastern region. Other than that, when we talk about the expansion of this particular policy in the region, so Southeast Asia was there earlier as well. Now we have gone for the East Asian countries as well. East Asian countries, that means that we are looking towards the countries like Philippines, we are looking towards the countries like you can say when we are talking about the Japan, South Korea, etc. So that is why in the Act East policies you can say that the you can say area of the sphere we have increased over there. Okay, so that is there about the Act East and the you can say Look East. Other than that, if we talk about the Look East, that was more like a cultural or people to people economic cooperation, etc. When we talk about Act East, it is more strategic in nature. Okay, they are actually becoming from economic to political to strategic, security related, peace and stability related. All these kind of aspects are there in the Act East policy. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now we can move to the last part, that is your, you can say, practice question. Which commission recommended the 27% reservation for OBC in the central government jobs? Ram Nandan Prasad Commission, Kaka Kelkar Commission, Mandal Commission or Sarkaria Commission? We have discussed this. You can attempt this question, answer to me in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. If you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe it. Have a nice day. Thank you.